This is a real rotor. There is a hole in the center in which an internal gear is inserted to receive a shaft. This is the eccentric shaft, actually the main shaft. It is integrated with an eccentric part controlling the planetary motion of the rotor. The rotor is fitted onto the eccentric shaft. You can see by turning the shaft, it performs a simple rotating motion. What happens when the fixed gear on the side housing, integrated with the bearing, is engaged with the rotor gear? The rotor moves in a planetary orbit around the shaft. As the three apexes of the rotor move, they generate an epitrochoid. You will notice that while the rotor makes one turn, the eccentric shaft makes 3 turns. Now compare this with the crankshaft movement of a reciprocating piston engine. While the shaft turns twice, explosion occurs only once. On the other hand, in the rotary engine, 3 explosions produce 3 revolutions of the shaft, providing greater efficiency. In actual rotary engines, now being mass-produced, 2 rotors and housings are used to increase output and obtain smooth revolution. From this cutaway model, you can see that the rotors, engaged with the fixed gears, are making a peculiar motion. As you look at the engine from this angle, the relationship of the 2 rotors becomes clear. The angle of the rotors is staggered, so that expansion occurs alternately. Therefore, while the output shaft makes 1 revolution, 2 explosions occur. Thus, the rotary engine, whose structure and performance are completely different from the piston engine, has many advantages. Gas in the operating chamber flows vigorously as the rotor turns, especially in the process of compression and ignition, so that combustion is rapid. Furthermore, intake, compression, and combustion take place in different parts of the operating chamber, so there is no danger of overheating, which would cause irregular combustion during the compression phase. Since knocking is thus prevented, no special fuel or additives are necessary. That is, low-octane gasoline without lead is quite adequate. There is no vibration from the up and down movement of pistons, nor any noise from the operation of valves. Because the structure is so simple, there are fewer parts. That is one of the most favorable characteristics of rotary engines. In terms of repair or overhaul, the rotary engine has great advantages over the reciprocating piston engine. To have a look inside a piston engine, you first take the cover off. You see the cylinder head and the complicated camshaft system, with 2 valves for each cylinder. Now what? Nuts and bolts are taken off. The job on the rotary engine will be finished pretty soon. On the reciprocating engine, the camshaft and the cylinder head are removed. At last, the pistons are visible. Now let's compare the parts of the 2 types of engines. This reciprocating piston engine requires 6 cylinders to obtain a performance equal to a 2-rotor engine of the rotary type. There are so many parts in a conventional engine. The rotary engine was invented in Germany, but was first mass-produced successfully by Toyo Kogyo of Japan, the manufacturer of Mazda vehicles. Now it is drawing attention from all over the world as the engine of the 1970s. Just as jets have superseded propeller-driven aircraft, it will only be a matter of time before the reciprocating piston engine is replaced by the highly efficient rotary engine.